Good morning, I'm Ryan Graham. Thank you for joining us. Highway 527 was closed in both directions early Sunday at Trowbridge Road in Thunder Bay due to a fatal single vehicle collision. The closure remained in place for a number of hours until that afternoon due to an ongoing investigation by the OPP into the circumstances of this fatal event. No other details are known at this time. Highway 527 at Trowbridge Road fully reopened at approximately 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Well, the federal government is investing $223,000 into 3 North Shore communities. The funding, delivered through FedNor, is intended to support the development of strategic plans in those towns. Justin Hardy reports.
The funds will be going to the towns of Schreiber, Nipigon, and Terrace Bay, with each community getting over $70,000. This is intended to support the development of 5-year strategic plans in each community to help identify opportunities for economic growth. Haidu says it's important that these plans are community-led.
Each community is going to develop a plan that's very specific for their region, and oftentimes these are challenging plans to develop. If you have a small community without a viable industry partner, a lot of times these communities have relied on a single big industry partner, and that industry partner leaves. For example, in the case of Terrace Bay, it is very challenging to recreate an economy.
The town of Nipigon has already created this new plan, and the $72,000 from FedNor will be reimbursing the town. CAO Lars Moffat says the plan has a number of goals.
A big part of that is around housing for sure and economic development. So looking at existing housing that we have, how we can incentivize housing to be able to come to the community, other development economically, can we incentivize commercial or industrial businesses to be able to come to Nipigon, and what are we going to offer to be able to make that happen?
The Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association was very pleased to hear of the investments. President Rick Dumas says these strategic plans are crucial in helping municipalities develop their local economies.
How do we diversify our economies? Listen, I've been on council for some 31 plus years, and it's a very tough road to go forward without an industry in your municipality. So hopefully within the funding that these communities will receive, they can look at the bigger picture. What does that look like for all of their services? What's the economic opportunities, diversification, tourism? There's multiple things that you can diversify.
Justin Hardy, TBT News.
Dryden, Kenora, and Fort Frances have teamed up on an air service feasibility study and a new stakeholder survey in hopes of bringing a passenger airline back to their airports. Dryden CAO Roger Nesbitt says things have been tough since Bearskin Airlines canceled their service in their community last year.
When an airport has passenger scheduled service, as long as they can get to a certain passenger threshold, they qualify for a federal airport capital assistance program. So that's federal funding for airside infrastructure, facilities, equipment, things like that. So that alone financially has been extremely impactful for the municipality.
In January 2024, Bearskin Airlines announced it would be ending service to the cities of Dryden, Kenora, and Fort Frances in May of that year. Now, a collaboration between the 3 communities is seeking to restore reliable and cost-effective commercial air service to connect to cities like Toronto and Calgary. Nesbitt says proving that such a service would be worth it to an airline is just the first step.
We have to be realistic, about the situation and understand that carriers, especially with all the changes in the aviation industry since the pandemic, air carriers aren't willing to take a substantial financial risk. And they're looking for their profitability to be guaranteed, at the end of the day.
The feasibility study is scheduled to be completed by the end of this year. The survey is set to close on September 26. First Nation-led education in the western part of our region has received a huge financial boost. The MasterCard Foundation is giving $10 million to the 7th Generation Education Institute, which has campuses in Fort Frances, Kenora, and Sioux Lookout. The CEO of SenGen spoke about this week's donation in a video released by the Education Institute.
Hi, I'm Brent Tukany, CEO at 7 Generations Education Institute. We offer lifelong learning and training across 3 campuses in the Treaty 3 area. And on behalf of 7 Generations, I'm very humbled and excited to share some wonderful news. Through our partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, on September 9th, 2025, we received a $10 million strategic gift. That gift will help us carry our work in lifelong learning even further across the territories we work with. This announcement by the Foundation is generations in the making. We are pleased to be a recipient. Over the past 5 years, our partnership with the Foundation has given new life to programs we had developed, like our language revitalization and land-based education. Those programs give our young people pride, confidence, leadership skills they'll carry for a lifetime. And now, with this additional investment, we can dream big and continue to implement the work in a good way, our way. We will continue to prepare for the future and make sure that the opportunities last for generations to come. It's a gift, yes. And with gifts come responsibility. Responsibility we hold with care, knowing lifelong learning is a path of renewal, hope, and possibility. Chimigwich.
An Indigenous graduate of the Boralaskan Faculty of Law has received a prestigious honor from the Royal Society of Canada. Cassandra Spade from Mishki Gogamang First Nation was a co-valedictorian for the class of 2025 at the LU Law School back in May. She's now being presented with the Justice Rosalie Silberman Abella Prize. The award goes to one graduating student from each Canadian law school who is most likely to positively influence equity and social justice in Canada. Spade is currently working as a student at law for Judson Howie LLP and is expected to be called to the bar this fall. On Sunday, the law enforcement torch run took place at Chapels Park, an event to raise funds and awareness for Special Olympics in Thunder Bay. From noon to 2 p.m., local athletes were in attendance along with local and provincial law enforcement agencies, both civilian and uniform. The event was led by Keith Nutley of the MNR. The funds raised from the event in large part go towards transportation, accommodation, and general travel costs for the Special Olympic athletes from Thunder Bay who depend on this for support when competing outside of our region, especially when competing at provincials as well as nationals. Everyone involved expected a great turnout for a great cause, and the event yesterday was a true success.
It's a fundraiser for Special Olympics. It's to draw awareness. It's a bunch of law enforcement officers, locally, provincially, nationally, and worldwide, raise money and awareness for Special Olympics and promote inclusion of athletes with intellectual disabilities. It's a fun opportunity, again, the interaction of officers and athletes, and the big part is to draw awareness to for Special Olympics and the inclusion, the acceptance of athletes with intellectual disabilities.
It was fun. Very proud to do all the sports.
I'm excited. It's something I've been involved with for about 10 years. With the Thunder Bay Police Service, I've taken more of a lead role in the last 2 years. I'm very excited to be here, and the main thing for us is just raising awareness for the community as a whole, with any type of skill level, and just getting the community together and having everybody a fair opportunity to come out and support each other.
Walking with friends is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun.
It's enjoyable, and we get to spend time with each other.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The funds from yesterday's events also go to providing Special Olympics programs for students at our local high schools. To donate to this great cause, you can still do so at any time. Simply go online to Special Olympics Thunder Bay. Well, hundreds of residents laced up their running shoes for the annual Terry Fox Run. Families, community groups, and students joined together to carry on his legacy and fundraise for cancer research. Emmett Chilton reports.
It's the 45th anniversary since Terry Fox ran his Marathon of Hope, raising money and awareness for cancer research. Participants gathered at the Current River Community Center as the event started with a ceremony inspiring everyone to walk, run, or roll the route to raise funds. Chair of the Thunder Bay Terry Fox Run, Dom Morrison, says why it's important to hold this event.
Well, personally, I've had cancer has impacted my family. Both parents passed away from cancer. My brother passed away from cancer. So that's one of the reasons I'm involved. but it's a great community project for the city. Everybody knows the story of Terry Fox and what he's done, so to keep the run going every year is the main driver.
Many wore T-shirts honoring the iconic Canadian hero and dedicated their run to loved ones affected by cancer. The event not only raises funds but also keeps Terry's dream alive, with participants carrying his message forward with every step. Morrison says he's optimistic about the amount of funds raised this year.
Traditionally, we raise in Thunder Bay about $40,000 a year for Terry Fox, combination of the run here as well as through schools. Now this year we also had the Terry Fox hike at Sleeping Giant, which had 120 participants and raised $24,000 there, so I suspect this year we'll do pretty well.
Donations to the Terry Fox Foundation can be made online at terryfox.org. Emma Chilton, TBT News.